The organization unfortunately started from a place of extreme tragedy. We lost my older daughter Anaya in 2017, and this was really a project that Anaya was working on when she was in high school, and she was teaching us a lot about it. She would talk about just the breakdown of the education system for inner city students, and little did we know all of that, where it would really play out. The mission of Anaya Scholars is to support students from financially challenged backgrounds and first-generation families to go to college and succeed and find gainful employment. So the reason it is really important to support these students is because only 10% of students from financially challenged families graduate college. Let me put it another way. Only 1 out of 10, which means 9 out of 10, fall through the cracks. And then similarly, only 20% of students from first-generation families graduate college. So needless to say, if so many students are falling through the cracks, that's a real problem for not only our society, but for our entire nation. The organization really had very humble beginnings. It started around a dining table with 6 of our closest friends just being there supporting us, just helping my husband and me just put one foot in front of the other. We would meet every Saturday, we would cook together and really plan out what the foundation, what the organization would do, what the mission would be, what the charter should be, writing the bylaws. We really did it all together. It's a real testament to just human empathy and just community building.
Welcome to Indian England News. Our guest today is Monica Kachru. She is founder of Anaya Scholars Foundation. On March 8th, she will be honored as one of the Outstanding Women of the Year 2025 at our annual Women of the Year Awards Gala at Burlington Marriott. Monica, welcome to our studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
Sure, and we are looking forward to honoring you on March 8th. It's going to be a fun event.
Thank you. I'm deeply honored to be considered and to be honored.
Excellent. We were totally, blown away by the nominations we have received for you and for your foundation. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, let us start with how did you come with this foundation name and its mission, and when it really started?
The organization unfortunately started from a place of extreme tragedy. We lost my older daughter Anaya in 2017, and and this was really a project that Anaya was working on when she was in high school, and she was teaching us a lot about it. She would talk about just the breakdown of the education system for inner city students, and little did we know all of that, where it would really play out. And when we lost Anaya, which is probably a parent's worst nightmare.
Sure.
And in thinking about what we could do to honor Anaya's memory, we were cleaning out her room and we saw this project, and we knew that this is what we needed to do. So it's really Anaya's ethos and her vision to really level the playing field in the field of education for students that are her age but don't have the access that she had. That it's the mission of the foundation, the mission of the organization was born out of that. So the mission for Anaya Scholars is to support students from financially challenged backgrounds and first-generation families make it to college and then succeed and graduate successfully. So that is our focus. And just to give you a sense of why it's so important is right now only 10% of students that are from financial challenged backgrounds actually graduate, and 20% of students that are from first-generation families, that is first in their families to go to college, graduate. So that's really a very stark statistic, and it's really to remedy that we said we have to do something about it, and we're carrying on Anaya's vision, and in fact we have taken that and built upon that. So just honored to take that journey.
Sure. No, what a tragedy. It is absolutely, for any parent, it is the worst thing you can really imagine. Now, before we move forward, just have two questions. Number one is what she was doing at the time when she passed away, what grade or school she was. And second one is that you found all these paper in her things. Can you talk a little bit more about what was in her notes and etc.?
Absolutely. So Anaya, when she passed, she was getting ready to start her freshman year at MIT. So she passed 2 weeks before that. And just Anaya as a person always wanted to make the world a better place. Everything that she said or did really centered around that. And the project, again, that she was looking at in her high school really was looking at why is there a breakdown of access to education in
and where she was going in high school?
Needham High.
Needham High, okay.
She was a student at Needham High, and she graduated from Needham High, and there on she was going to pursue a degree in computer science and electrical engineering
at MIT.
And even though she was herself a model student. She had a startup at 16. She had done way more than I will ever do in my life. She was in the robotics team, all of that. But she always said that there's something missing. There's something broken in the education system, that it's students like her that have access to the opportunities are perceived as being smarter. But that's not the case. It's really an access to opportunity that needs to be resolved for all students, not only for, the privileged ones. So this is really something that she felt very deeply about. And she would talk so much about it that we just had to do it. We just had to do it. And she would always talk about leveling the playing field, that's what we had to do and truly level it. So give the same opportunities that students like her had to students who couldn't afford to do that.
So she passed away in 2017.
Yes.
And you started the foundation in 2018?
18, yes. It took me 3 months to really get things together and just, incorporated all of that. So that took a little bit of time. But in 2018, in January, we launched it.
Okay. And now, so how the foundation works and what are some of the type of work you do? And talk about that.
Sure, absolutely. So when we talk about leveling the playing field, this is what we mean. We have a 5-pronged strategy. We provide the students with financial grants so that they can attend the school. We provide them with a mentor that really helps them navigate the college system and think about it like with my younger daughter. If she wants to major in economics, I have 2 friends who can talk to her. If she wants to talk about engineering, my husband can help. We just have, students who are privileged have access to so many resources, whereas the students that we support don't. So it's a mentor that really helps them navigate what classes to take, what not to take, and how to navigate the whole academic environment. We also provide with our scholars with internships. So we all know, like internships is a pathway to getting your first job. So we provide them with access to that. We prepare them for the interviews that they're going to have. So, workplace training, we have a whole program on that. And then financial literacy. We really help them understand the budgeting, how to get your credit card, just the navigation of the banking system. So we support them with that. So these are the 5 pillars of support that we provide. Our team really started off, I'm not from a nonprofit space. None of my team was. We are, from the corporate world. We have a few from the entrepreneurial space. So we really brought all of that here. So we really started with 100% volunteer driven. Every dollar we would raise would go to the students. And now that we've been successful, we've supported 40 students, and we're going to be taking about 15 more scholars this year. We really needed to get, paid staff. So we are slowly transitioning to bring on, paid staff to really grow to about 100 students per year. So our goal is in the next 5 years, we will have 100 students go through our organization towards graduation and gainful employment.
So now to for the scholarships and all these things, you need money and finance.
Yes.
So how do you raise money, or how it works out so far?
So we really started with only $5,000 in our bank. And at that time, we were focused on proving out the concept. We absolutely need money, and it really is funded through a very grassroots channel right now. It's my friends, family, friends of friends. It's really grown organically. So we haven't really done a very concentrated fundraising effort. We absolutely have to do it now. But so far, our funding really comes from individual donors. And then we also have some corporations that have joined us, and they're supporting us as well. But we hope to obviously grow it, to be able to support 100 students, because that's a pretty large number. But we're confident that
Sure, yeah, it's a great cause, absolutely. And now in other life, you work for the Eversource. And
yes.
That is another very important cause, the sustainability
Yes.
and zero carbon.
Yes.
So talk about that part of your life as well.
Absolutely. So I joke with myself that I have two full-time jobs. There's one, the Anaya Scholars, and the other one is at Eversource, which is very dear to my heart as well. So I worked in the clean tech side of the world. Up until last year, we were building offshore wind farms. And now what I'm focused on is meeting carbon or environmental goals for Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. Eversource is a tri-state company. So my focus is to make sure that we transition from a fossil fuel economy to a green economy, and making sure that happens in a way that is sustainable. So it's a very exciting field to be in now, yeah. and absolutely essential for our society.
So how did you get into this type of business? And also, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school?
Absolutely. So I grew up in India.
Where in India?
Delhi. So I grew up in Delhi, and I went to Lady Sriram College, economics.
Yeah, sure.
So I graduated in economics, and then I moved to the US. I got married.
So which year did you graduate from?
I graduated in 91.
91, okay.
Yes.
So I was also in Delhi. I was in JNU.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Oh, fabulous.
And we had a lot of girls who come from LSR to JNU.
I know. Yes, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, yes. And so when I came here, I wanted to work in the field of energy. Like I wanted to work in clean power. So from economics, I went and got a degree in energy and environmental studies.
Where in the US?
In the US at Boston University.
BU, okay.
Yeah, BU. And so I graduated from that. And I just, one of my professors knew somebody at that time it was called New England Electric System, which is National Grid now. So he just recommended me for an internship. And that's how I got into this field. And I found it so exciting, and I've stayed ever since. And then in between, when a lot of the Internet of Things was happening, I wanted to go back to school and get on the tech side of things, just the technology side of things. So I went and got a business degree from MIT, and that really opened up the world.
You mean MBA or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
From Sloan.
Yes, from Sloan. And that really opened up a whole another side of the world, that how do you scale these technologies, how do you bring it to market and all that. So then I just combined those two things, and I've been enjoying that ride ever since.
So now let's come back to the foundation.
Yes.
Talking about, so you said that was started by you and your husband?
And 6 of my friends around our dining table.
Okay.
That is how it started.
So tell that story, that how, you meet, your 6 friends, husband, yourself.
Absolutely.
Just give us how that happened. How did it come up?
So it really started from a place of healing. Our friends who are closest to us, we would just sit around the table, and they would be doing everything they can to help us cope with the grief that we were going through. And in that process of healing, process of building the community, all of that was this idea that we had. We had Anaya's vision in front of us. So literally it was meeting every Saturday. We would get together, we would cook together, and we would talk. How will we build this? What will we do? We sat and did the bylaws together. We sat and figured out what the charter is. So it really was around our dining table, and from just an immense place of it was community building at its best. Them coming together to help us, put one foot in front of the other. We didn't know if we would be able to live, but here we are.
Sure.
7 years after, and doing, making the best of our lives, but also helping others. But it's really, that was the start of the foundation. It was literally our dining table. And today, when we have our meetings, everybody doesn't fit in our room, home. And it's so lovely, so humbling to just see that.
Let's now also talk a little bit about your husband, his role into this foundation and his background. So, can you talk about that?
Sure. So my husband Rajiv is an entrepreneur, and he wanted to take more of he wanted to be in the background. So he was the force in the background on this. He has the technology background, so really helping us think about how will we build this thing on $0. So we didn't buy Microsoft. We didn't, everything was on Google, and he managed it all. How do we use AI to do things that, so we don't have to pay somebody to do certain things. So that was all Rajiv, figuring out how do you do things at, for next to nothing. And that's how we did that. So, and because of his entrepreneur background, he was also really helpful in making me see that how do you scale this from just inception to, have a full-fledged, organization. What are some of the pitfalls you look for? What are some of the things? And he'll still, tell me, if I'm, complaining about it, he'll still say, well, that's your job. So, stop complaining, just, get to it. Because as entrepreneurs, coming from a corporate world, we're not used to wearing multiple hats. We kind of swim in our lane.
Sure.
But in a startup, which is what this is, you have to wear multiple hats. I tell myself all the time, I'm the janitor and the CEO, and you have to be ready to do everything.
Everything, sure.
So, and that's the kind of DNA that he brought to the organization, which was extremely helpful.
Mm-hmm. So now, I cannot understand how difficult it is, almost impossible to deal with this type of pain and trauma. I don't think that anybody can ever recover from that. Now, my question to you is, what is your advice to other parents to deal with children, and how sometimes somebody like you going through that sad tragedy, it has a totally different perspective than many of us can even imagine. So I just wanted to talk about that part, that what we can learn from this, how we can prepare ourselves in case something like this happens.
Oh gosh. I don't, to be honest, I don't think anybody can prepare for this. Absolutely. This is just not in the DNA. So I wouldn't even want to try to, advise someone on that. But what I will say is, what I did learn is, while we don't choose our tragedies, we do choose our response to it. And I think that in that response, if there are parents who've lost their children, or God forbid, if anybody does, I would say that your heart has to grow so that the hole in it becomes smaller with respect to the rest of your heart. And what I mean by that is you have to learn to love unconditionally. And I'm just going to speak from my personal experience. Sure. I didn't know the meaning of unconditional love until we lost Anaya. Until I really went headlong in loving every student, every scholar that we support just as I would love my own child. Even though a lot of them will never know. They will never know what it has taken to do that. But bringing that love into your life is extremely liberating, extremely liberating. And that's a lesson that I've learned is you have to bring that selfless love to your own life, and it helps you be kind to your own self and to be kind to your husband, your other children, and that has been really the cornerstone of this. So what do I tell the parents is selfless love, but also find something, and I think that love allows you to do it. Find something that's bigger than you, and that will save you. It has saved me.
So this is the one question actually we asked all our outstanding women, that you have to choose between love and trust.
Yes.
And I remember your answer was love, right?
Absolutely. So, all day long.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also think that the way I understood love was different before I lost Anaya. The way I understand love is different now. So I think it also is like, what is your definition of love?
Now, before you come to the definition, my question is, how did you thought about love before and then after? How that?
The way I used to think about love before is when you love your husband, when you love your child, when you love your parents. That's a very transactional relationship. The love today that I think about, it's the love for humanity, love for existence, love for that's how I think of love today.
It's bigger than me and you.
It's much bigger than me and you. And that is what love actually is, in my opinion.
And that is how you define love, right?
That's how I define love. So to me, love is that limitless energy, limitless hope, limitless courage that you just have to dip into, and you can do anything. So I would choose love all day long, because anything is possible if you have access to that.
Sure, absolutely. Now, today in this phase of your life, I know this is the biggest, one of the inspiration is this foundation and all the work you are doing. What about some of the other people you would like to meet in the you say, okay, here's your wish list, okay, tell us who you want to meet and who will that person be and why?
Obviously I would love to meet the divine God. Because I would want to know so much about my own existence, about why we are here. That would be my absolute journey to the absolute truth. And I talk about this. And I think the other person, since I don't know if God will meet me, but the other person I would just love to meet is Sadhguru. Mm-hmm. And again, that also is rests in that I would want to sit and talk to somebody who speaks from the place of divine, because I think that what can be uncovered there is a game changer. It's a game changer.
Just for the record,
yes.
Where you are sitting,
yes,
in the same place, Sadhguru was here. And we did an interview in this room.
Oh my gosh! Oh my God! Let me touch this.
So
He
came in this room and we had a long conversation.
Yeah.
We do a so-called chai with Manju.
Yeah.
And we had a great time when he was here. So at least, there is some connection from this room.
His energy may be here, that I should get that.
So now we have been asking this question for 22 years we have been doing the Moon and Bear event. And generally, this is one of my question always is that whom would you like to meet? So for the first time, as far as I remember, somebody said that I would like to meet divine, which was you. So now my next question to you is, if you really meet a divine, what are you going to ask the divine?
Oh, wow. I would ask the divine is, why do we keep getting born? If what I've understood about our existence, that we take birth again and again to have experiences in life, I would ask that now that one knows that's the case, what is the point of continuing on with that life? Like, what is it that one is supposed to achieve if one already learns that? So I would want to know the entire karmic cycle of our existence. I think there's so many questions I would have, but it really rests on our understanding of our karmic cycles. That's what I would like to know.
Monica, thank you so much, and we are looking forward to seeing you on March 8th.
Thank you, and I'm excited to be part of that event.
Excellent. Thank you.